Before I watched my husband choose his mother over our dead daughter's memory, I thought family meant standing together through grief. I'm 32 years old. My name is Claire, and 3 months ago, I buried my 6-year-old daughter Emma after a battle with leukemia that lasted 14 months. The funeral was small, just close family. My husband Ryan's mother Patricia wasn't there. She was in Cancun with her book club. She sent flowers with a card that said, "Thinking of you. Not I'm sorry for your loss. Not Emma will be missed. Just thinking of you." I should have seen it then. 2 weeks after we laid Emma to rest, Patricia called. Not to ask how we were doing. Not to acknowledge that her only grandchild had died. She wanted to know if we could host Thanksgiving because her kitchen was being remodeled. Ryan said yes before I could even process the question. I stood in our kitchen, staring at Emma's drawings still on the refrigerator, and my husband was discussing whether we preferred herb or apple stuffing. I felt like I was drowning, and no one noticed I was underwater. That was 6 weeks ago. Now I'm standing in our living room, watching Patricia rearrange our furniture without asking. She arrived yesterday for what she called a long overdue visit. She walked past the memorial table I'd set up for Emma in the entryway. The one with her school photos, her favorite stuffed rabbit, and the bracelet she wore every day that said "Brave Girl." Patricia walked right past it without saying a word. This morning, I found her taking down Emma's artwork from the hallway. "What are you doing?" My voice came out sharper than I intended. Patricia turned, holding Emma's watercolor painting of our family. 4 stick figures holding hands under a yellow sun. Emma had painted it in art therapy during treatment. It was dated 2 months before she died. "Oh, honey, I just thought you might want to pack some of these away," Patricia said in that syrupy voice she used when she was about to say something terrible. "It's not healthy to have constant reminders everywhere. You need to move forward. Move forward." Emma had been gone for 93 days, and Patricia thought I should move forward. "Put it back." I held out my hand. "Claire, I'm only trying to help. You're young. You and Ryan can try again. But first you need to let go of all this." She gestured around like Emma's memory was clutter that needed clearing. Ryan appeared in the doorway, coffee in hand. "What's going on?" "Your mother is taking down Emma's painting." He looked between us, uncomfortable. "Mom, maybe just leave that where it was." "Maybe." "Not. Put it back now." "Not. That's our daughter's art and you have no right." "Just maybe." Patricia sighed dramatically. "I'm only thinking of you two. Ryan, you've been so depressed. And Claire has been—" She paused, looking at me. "Difficult. Difficult. I had been difficult. I had been difficult when I spent 14 months sleeping in hospital chairs. Difficult when I held my daughter through chemotherapy. Difficult when I planned a funeral for a 6-year-old. Difficult when I couldn't get out of bed some mornings because Emma's room was across the hall and I could still hear her laugh in my mind. I need some air." I grabbed my coat and left. I drove to the cemetery. I do that a lot now. I sat by Emma's grave and talked to her like I used to when she was alive. Told her about the squirrel that keeps stealing from our bird feeder. About the book I'm reading. About how much I miss her. When I got home 2 hours later, Ryan's sister Valerie had arrived. She sat at our dining table with Patricia and Ryan, drinking wine and laughing. The 3 of them looked up when I walked in like I was interrupting a party. "There she is," Valerie called out. "We were just talking about you." I didn't want to know, but I asked anyway. "About what?" "Mom told us about this morning." "Claire, I totally get it. When I had my miscarriage last year, I was a wreck. But you know what helped? I redecorated. Fresh start. And I think that's what you need." She was comparing her 8-week miscarriage to my daughter's death. I felt something cold settle in my chest. "That's not the same thing," I said quietly. "Of course it is. Loss is loss, right? And the best thing you can do is keep yourself busy." "Actually, that's perfect, because I need a favor." Valerie leaned forward, excited. "My anniversary is coming up and I was hoping you could watch the kids that weekend. Just Friday to Sunday. You'd be perfect since you're not working right now." I hadn't worked since Emma's diagnosis. I'd been her caregiver, her mother, and now that she was gone, Valerie thought I should fill my time babysitting her 3 children. "I don't think I'm ready for that," I said. Patricia jumped in. "Oh, sweetie, it would be good for you. Honestly, I think you spend too much time alone. And Valerie's kids would be a wonderful distraction." A distraction. My grief needed a distraction. Ryan still hadn't said anything. He was looking at his wine glass like it might tell him what to do. "Ryan?" I looked at my husband. What do you think? He shifted in his seat. I mean, it might be nice. Val's kids are great. And Mom has a point about you being alone too much. I felt like I'd been slapped. I need to lie down. I walked upstairs before anyone could see me cry. I didn't come down for dinner. Patricia made lasagna in my kitchen using my pans, and I could hear them eating and talking like everything was normal. Like there wasn't an empty chair at the table where Emma used to sit. Around 9, Ryan came upstairs. He sat on the edge of the bed. You need to try harder with my family, he said. I know you're going through something, but they're trying to help and you're being cold. Going through something. My daughter died and I was going through something. Your mother took down Emma's painting without asking. She was trying to help you heal. By erasing Emma. That's not what she's doing. Claire, you're making this harder than it needs to be. My family loves you. They're worried about you. We all are. There it was. The we. Ryan and his family on one side. Me on the other. I'm sleeping in the guest room, I said. He left without arguing. The next morning, I woke up to voices downstairs. More family had arrived. Ryan's brother Mark and his wife Jessica. Patricia had apparently decided to turn her visit into a family reunion without asking me. I stayed upstairs until after 10. When I finally came down, they were all in the living room. Emma's toy box was gone from the corner. The blanket she used for movie nights was folded and put away. The bookshelf where we kept her favorite stories had been reorganized and her books were missing. Where are Emma's things? I asked from the doorway. Patricia smiled. We packed them up for you. There are boxes in the garage. Doesn't the room look so much better? More adult. You can finally use this space properly. Jessica nodded enthusiastically. It's amazing what decluttering can do. Really opens up the energy. I walked to the garage in a daze. There were 4 boxes stacked by the door. Emma's entire existence packed away like winter clothes. I opened the first one. Her books. The Velveteen Rabbit. Where the Wild Things Are. Charlotte's Web, which I'd read to her in the hospital. I picked up Charlotte's Web and held it to my chest. I'd promised Emma we'd finish it. We got through chapter 17. She died before Wilbur could save Charlotte. Claire? Ryan stood in the garage doorway. You okay? Did you know they were doing this? He ran his hand through his hair. Mom thought it would be easier if it was just done. Like ripping off a Band-Aid. These are Emma's things. I know. And we can keep them. They're just in boxes now, instead of all over the house. You should have asked me. You would have said no. He was right. I would have said no. Because Emma had been gone for 93 days, and I wasn't ready to pack her away like she never existed. Your family needs to leave, I said. Claire, come on. I mean it. I need them to go. They came all this way to support us. And you're going to kick them out because they cleaned the living room? They erased our daughter from our home. They put some stuff in boxes. Jesus, Claire, you're being unreasonable. I looked at my husband. Really looked at him. He'd shaved that morning. He was wearing the shirt I'd given him for his birthday. He looked normal. Like life was continuing. Like Emma's death was just something that happened and now we move on. When was the last time you visited her grave? I asked. He blinked. What? Emma's grave. When did you last go? I don't know. A few weeks ago? Claire, what does that have to do with anything? I go every day. That's not healthy. She's our daughter. She's gone. His voice broke. She's gone and visiting a cemetery won't change that. Mom's right. We need to move forward. There it was. The truth. Ryan wanted to move forward. His family wanted to help him move forward. And I was the obstacle. I went back inside. They were all in the dining room now. Patricia setting out lunch like this was her house. I need everyone to leave, I said. The room went quiet. Patricia laughed, nervous. Honey, we're in the middle of lunch. I don't care. I need you all to leave. Mark stood up. Claire, I think you need to calm down. Don't tell me to calm down. You packed up my daughter's things without asking. You walked into my home and erased her like she was never here. We were helping, Valerie said. God, you're so ungrateful. We drove 4 hours to be here for you and this is how you treat us? I didn't ask you to come. I didn't ask for any of this. Ryan grabbed my arm. Can I talk to you in the kitchen? Now. He pulled me into the next room and shut the door. What the hell is wrong with you? He hissed. That's my family out there. And Emma was our family. Our daughter. And they packed her away like trash. They were trying to help us heal. I don't want to heal. Not yet. It's been 3 months, Ryan. 3 months. And you all want me to act like it never happened. No one is saying that. Your mother couldn't even come to the funeral. She was on vacation. And now she's here rearranging our furniture and telling me how to grieve. She feels terrible about missing the funeral. She's never apologized. Because you won't let her. You've been hostile since she got here. I've been grieving. Well, so have I, Ryan shouted. You think this is easy for me? Emma was my daughter too. But I'm trying to keep going. I'm trying to keep this family together while you fall apart. I stared at him. I'm not falling apart. I'm falling to pieces. There's a difference. And the fact that you can't see that means you don't understand what I'm going through. Then help me understand instead of shutting me out. I've been trying. But every time I mention Emma, you change the subject. Every time I cry, you leave the room. You want me to move forward so you don't have to deal with how much this hurts. He looked away. That's not fair. It's true. The kitchen door opened. Patricia stood there, arms crossed. I heard shouting. Ryan, honey, maybe Claire needs some time alone. Why don't you come stay at my house for a few days? That's a good idea, Mom, Ryan said. I felt my heart crack. You're leaving? You just kicked my entire family out. Yeah, I'm leaving. I'll come back when you're ready to be reasonable. He walked out. I heard him going upstairs, packing a bag. Heard his family gathering their things, whispering about me. Heard the front door open and close. 5 times. Then silence. I stood in my kitchen alone, and the quiet was so loud I thought I might scream. I didn't scream. I walked to Emma's room instead. They hadn't touched it. I sat on her bed, surrounded by her stuffed animals and her drawings taped to the walls. I picked up her favorite blanket. It still smelled like her strawberry shampoo. My phone rang. What? Mom wants to talk to you. Before I could say no, Patricia's voice filled my ear. Claire, sweetheart, I think we need to have a frank conversation about your mental health. What happened today wasn't normal. You attacked your family for trying to help. I really think you should see someone. A therapist. Maybe get on some medication. I don't need medication. I need people to let me grieve. Honey, it's been 3 months. At some point, grief becomes depression. And I'm worried you're stuck there. Let me ask you something, Patricia. Did you love Emma? Silence. Then, what kind of question is that? Of course I did. She was my granddaughter. You missed her funeral. I've apologized for that. No, you haven't. Not once. More silence. I sent flowers, she finally said. She was 6 years old. She fought cancer for over a year. She died scared and in pain, and asking for her grandma. And you were in Mexico drinking margaritas. That's not fair. I didn't know she was going to die that week. She'd been in hospice for 9 days. The doctors said it was a matter of days. Ryan told you. You chose not to come. I had that trip planned for months. And honestly, Claire, I didn't think you'd want me there. You've made it very clear over the years that I'm not your favorite person. This isn't about me. This was about Emma, your granddaughter, who loved you even though you only visited twice during her entire treatment. I don't do well with hospitals. They make me anxious. They make you anxious. Well, Emma's dead now, so you don't have to worry about hospitals anymore. Problem solved. How dare you? I'm trying to help you, and you're throwing my anxiety in my face. You're clearly not well. When you're ready to apologize, we'll be here. But until then, don't expect Ryan to choose you over his family. She hung up. I sat there holding the phone, shaking. Don't expect Ryan to choose you over his family. As if I wasn't his family. As if Emma hadn't been his family. I opened my laptop. I logged into Ryan's email. I knew his password. He'd never changed it. I searched for emails from Patricia during Emma's treatment. There were dozens. I started reading. May 15th, 2 months into Emma's diagnosis. Patricia to Ryan. I really think you should consider what's best for your marriage. Claire is completely consumed with Emma and you're getting lost in the shuffle. June 3rd. Have you thought about what happens if Emma doesn't make it? Claire will need serious help. You might want to start looking into facilities now. Facilities. She meant psychiatric hospitals. August 22nd. Ryan, I'm worried about you. You look exhausted. Why don't you come stay with me for a weekend? Claire can handle things for 2 days. October 10th. I really think you should prepare yourself for the possibility that your marriage won't survive this. A lot of couples don't make it through losing a child. November 30th, the week Emma died. I know you asked me to come, but honestly, honey, I don't think I can handle seeing her like that. I want to remember Emma healthy and happy. You understand, right? And Ryan's response, I understand, Mom. It's okay. Enjoy your trip. Enjoy your trip. While his daughter was dying, I kept reading. Emails after the funeral. December 15th. Patricia, to Ryan. How is Claire doing? Is she still being dramatic about everything? January 8th. Ryan, you need to take control of your household. Claire is making this all about her grief and forgetting that you lost Emma too. January 20th. 5 days ago. I'm coming to visit. Don't tell Claire. Let's make it a surprise. I think she needs some tough love. Don't tell Claire. The trip wasn't to support us. It was an intervention, an ambush. I closed the laptop. I felt numb. Then I felt clarity. This wasn't going to get better. Ryan was never going to choose me. His family was never going to respect my grief. I walked to our bedroom. I pulled my suitcase from the closet and started packing. Clothes. Toiletries. The necklace Emma made me in art class. My phone rang. I answered. What? I'm at Mom's. Look, I think maybe you should come over tomorrow and apologize to everyone. Start fresh. I was completely myself today. For the first time in months, actually. What's that supposed to mean? It means I'm done, Ryan. Silence. Then, done with what? Done pretending I'm okay. Done letting your family dictate how I grieve. Done being married to someone who chooses his mother over his wife. Claire, you're not thinking straight. I read your emails. More silence. What emails? The ones from your mother? All of them. I know she told you not to tell me about this visit. I know she's been telling you I'm selfish and dramatic. I know she told you to prepare for our marriage to fail. Claire, I can explain. You told her to enjoy her trip. While Emma was dying, she said she couldn't handle seeing Emma like that, and you said, enjoy your trip. It wasn't like that. She was having panic attacks. I was trying to make her feel less guilty. Your mother needed you to make her feel less guilty about abandoning her dying granddaughter. And you did. She's my mother. And I'm your wife. Emma was your daughter. We should have come first. You're twisting everything. I'm seeing it clearly for the first time. So what? You're leaving me? I'm leaving you because when I needed you most, you weren't there. You checked out, and your family filled the space you left behind. Where will you even go? I'll figure it out. Claire, please. Don't do this. We can fix this. You would have to choose me over your mother. Can you do that, Ryan? Right now, can you tell me that I matter more than keeping Patricia happy? He didn't answer. That's what I thought, I said. I'll have a lawyer contact you. I hung up. He called back. I declined. I turned off my phone. I finished packing. 2 suitcases. I'd send for the rest later. Emma's boxes from the garage. Her urn from the mantel. The painting Patricia had taken down. I loaded everything into my car. It was dark now. Almost 8 p.m. I drove to my college roommate's apartment across town. Sarah. She'd been friends with me for 15 years. She was at Emma's funeral. She'd visited us in the hospital. She was Emma's godmother. I knocked on her door at 8:47 p.m. with 2 suitcases and red eyes. Sarah opened the door, took one look at me, and pulled me inside. What happened? I told her everything. Sarah listened, without interrupting. When I finished, she said, "You're staying here. As long as you need. I can't impose." "You're not imposing. You're family. Real family. The kind that shows up." I cried then. Really cried. Sarah held me on her couch and didn't tell me to calm down or move forward. She just let me break apart. The next morning, I woke up on Sarah's guest bed. My phone had 47 missed calls. 32 from Ryan. 15 from Patricia. I had one text from Ryan's brother Mark. "You're making a huge mistake. Family is everything." I blocked his number. I had 3 texts from Valerie about how devastated Patricia was and how selfish I was being. I blocked her too. Patricia had sent an email. The subject line was, "Disappointed." I deleted it without reading. Ryan's text just said, "Please call me." I didn't call. Instead, I called a divorce attorney, Sarah recommended. Made an appointment for that afternoon. Then I called my former therapist. Made an appointment for the next day. Then I went to the cemetery. I sat by Emma's grave and told her everything. I'm so sorry, I whispered. I'm sorry I can't give you a family that works. I'm sorry Grandma Patricia couldn't love you the way you deserved. I'm sorry your dad forgot how to say your name. The wind picked up, rustling the small pinwheel I'd planted by her headstone. Pink and purple, her favorite colors. But I promise I'll never forget you. I'll never pack you away or move forward or pretend you didn't change everything. You were my whole world, baby girl. You still are. I stayed until the cemetery closed. Then I went to the attorney's office and filed for divorce. Ryan called while I was signing papers. I sent him to voicemail. The attorney was kind, efficient. She asked if there were children and I said yes, one, deceased. She asked if I wanted anything from the marriage and I said no, just Emma's things. He could have the house, the car, everything else. She said she'd handle everything. That night, Sarah made dinner, and we ate it in comfortable silence. Are you okay? She finally asked. But I will be. What do you need? Space. Maybe a new last name. She smiled sadly. You can have all of that here. 3 days later, Ryan showed up at Sarah's apartment. I watched him from the window, pacing, working up courage to knock. I opened the door before he could. What do you want? He looked terrible. Unshaved. Red eyes. I want my wife back. She died when Emma did. You just didn't notice. That's not fair. None of this is fair, Ryan. Our daughter got cancer and died. But what happened after was a choice. You chose your mother over me. Over Emma's memory. He stepped closer. Tell me what to do. Tell me how to fix this. Call your mother right now. Tell her she was wrong. Tell her she hurt me and you're on my side. He pulled out his phone, stared at it, hesitated. I can't do that, he finally said. She's my mother, and I was your wife. The papers were filed this morning. His hand dropped. You're really doing this. You're really choosing her. We stared at each other. Two people who used to be in love. Used to be partners. Used to be parents. I never thought we'd end like this, he said. We ended the day you told her to enjoy her trip. This is just making it official. He left without arguing. That night, I got an email from Patricia about facilities for complicated grief and how divorcing Ryan won't bring Emma back. I read it 3 times. Then I wrote back. Patricia, Emma has been dead for 97 days and you have never once said her name to me. Not in person. Not on the phone. Not in any email. You can't even type it. That tells me everything I need to know about your grief and your love. I don't need a facility. I need people who understand that my daughter existed and mattered and changed me forever. You are not one of those people. Please don't contact me again. I hit send. She wrote back. You'll regret this. I blocked her email. The next week was paperwork and logistics. Moving my things out while Ryan was at work. Closing joint accounts. All the administrative tasks of ending a marriage. Sarah helped with everything. Never complained. Never asked if I was sure. Just showed up with boxes and patience. We were loading Emma's things into Sarah's garage when I found it. Her memory box from the hospital. Inside was a card from Patricia dated 3 weeks into Emma's treatment. Dear Emma, Grandma loves you very much and is praying for you every day. I'm sorry I can't visit more often, but hospitals make Grandma nervous. Get well soon so we can have our tea parties again. Love, Grandma. Tea parties. They'd had exactly 2. I turned the card over. On the back, in Emma's handwriting, I miss you, Grandma. I sat on the garage floor and cried. Emma had missed her, had wanted her there, and Patricia had chosen her own comfort. Sarah sat down next to me, put her arm around me and waited. She loved them, I finally said. Emma loved Ryan's family, and they couldn't be bothered to show up. I know, they'll rewrite this story. They'll say I kept them away, that I was unstable. Let them. The people who matter know the truth. She was right. 2 months later, the divorce was final. Ryan didn't contest anything, just signed the papers and let me go. I heard through mutual friends that he'd moved in with Patricia, that they told people I'd had a breakdown after Emma died. I didn't correct the story. I didn't have the energy. Instead, I focused on rebuilding. Therapy twice a week, a grief support group, volunteering at the hospital where Emma had been treated, reading to kids in oncology. Sarah's apartment became home. We fell into a rhythm. Coffee in the mornings, dinner most nights. She gave me space when I needed it, and company when I didn't. 6 months after leaving Ryan, I got a text from Valerie. I'd forgotten she existed. Mom is sick. Stage 4, pancreatic cancer. 6 months. Ryan thought you should know. I stared at the text. Tried to feel something. Felt nothing. I typed back. I'm sorry to hear that. She responded immediately. That's it? She's dying and that's all you can say? What would you like me to say? That you forgive her. That you'll come say goodbye. She's asking for you. I'm sure she is. So you'll come? Claire? She's dying. Emma died. Patricia didn't come. She was on vacation. I'm not on vacation. I'm just done. You're really going to hold that against her forever? Forever isn't very long when it comes to grudges. But it's exactly long enough for Patricia to understand what it feels like when someone doesn't show up. Valerie didn't respond. Ryan called 2 hours later. I let it go to voicemail. Claire, it's me. Mom is really sick. She doesn't have long. She's asking to see you. She wants to apologize. Please, come say goodbye. I deleted the voicemail. But it bothered me. Kept me up. Sarah noticed. What's wrong? I told her about Patricia. The cancer. Do you want to go? She asked. I don't know. What would Emma want you to do? I thought about that. Emma would want me to go. She always saw the best in people. That's not what I asked. What would Emma want for you? I knew the answer immediately. Emma would want me to choose peace over obligation. And will seeing Patricia give you peace? It'll give her peace. There's a difference. Sarah nodded. Then you have your answer. I didn't go. I sent flowers. The card said, thinking of you. She died 3 weeks later. Ryan called to tell me about the funeral. I can't, I said. She was family once. Not anymore. She really did love you, Claire. In her way. Her way wasn't enough. He was quiet. I'm sorry. For all of it. I should have chosen you. Yes, you should have. Is it too late? Way too late. I miss you. I miss what we had. We had a daughter. She died. That's what we had and it's gone. Do you ever think about me? Sometimes. Usually when I'm trying to remember what it felt like to trust someone completely. He hung up. I blocked his number. That chapter was done. A year after leaving Ryan, I moved into my own apartment. Small. 1 bedroom. I decorated Emma's room. Not a shrine, just a space that honored her. Her artwork on the walls. Her books on the shelves. Her urn on a table by the window with fresh flowers every week. I started dating again. Casually. It felt good to remember I was more than just a grieving mother. I got a job at a nonprofit that supported families with children in the hospital. Used my experience to help others. Life didn't go back to normal because normal didn't exist anymore. But it became something new. Something bearable. Eventually, something good. I still visit Emma's grave every week. Still talk to her. Still miss her every single day. But I don't apologize anymore for taking up space with my grief. I don't shrink myself to make other people comfortable. I learned that the people who truly love you will never ask you to choose between honoring your truth and keeping them comfortable. They'll sit with you in the hard stuff. They'll show up even when it's messy. They'll say your daughter's name. Ryan sends cards sometimes. Birthdays. Christmas. Always signed thinking of you. I don't respond. Valerie sent a Facebook friend request last month. I declined it. Mark's wife Jessica sent a message asking if we could move past all this unpleasantness. I blocked her. Some people think I'm bitter, unforgiving, that I threw away a family over pride. But they don't understand. I didn't throw anything away. I walked away from people who wanted me to erase my daughter's memory so they could feel better about their own discomfort with death and grief. I walked away from a husband who loved his mother's approval more than his wife's pain. And I walked toward a life where my daughter's name could be spoken out loud, where my grief was allowed to exist without apology. Emma deserved more than to be packed in boxes and forgotten after 93 days. And so did I. That's what I learned. You can't pour from an empty cup, and the people who truly love you won't ask you to. They'll help you refill. They'll sit with you while you're empty. Patricia never learned that. Ryan never learned that. His family never learned that. But I did. And that's why I'm still standing. What went wrong was simple. They forgot that grief is the price we pay for love. And Emma was worth every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of pain. She was worth more than their comfort, more than their timelines for healing, more than their need to move forward and redecorate and pretend everything was fine. She was my daughter. She will always be my daughter. And anyone who couldn't understand that didn't deserve a place in my life. I'm 34 now. 2 years since Emma died. 20 months since I left Ryan. 18 months since the divorce was final. 1 year since I stopped counting days. I'm okay. Not healed. Not moved on. But okay. And some days, that's more than enough.